Alright, probably the one film I had no idea was going to get nominated turned out to be one of my favorite films of the 10 nominee bunch. Coming from Brazil, with a powerhouse performance from Fernanda Torres, This Is Why I'm Still Here should win Best Picture at the Oscars. When you think about movies that win Oscars or have the best memories as Best Picture, you think of these really great films that I think have good cultural impact that anybody can watch and really enjoy and understand why the movie was being made, and just has a sense of connection to any individual around the world. That is kind of what I would say I'm Still Here is. It tells this very sad, dark, but powerful story from the eyes of Eunice, played by Fernanda Torres, a family that's struggling through the dictatorship that is being promoted by the United States, as I found out in my history lesson, during the 1970s. And we follow Fernanda Torres and her family in just all these struggles. And I gotta say, what makes this film really, I think, relatable that anybody could watch it is just seeing how Eunice's family acts together, seeing the connection, the dynamics they have together, whether it's their oldest daughter, Vera, that ends up going to London but always trying to care about what's going on with their family, to the younger kids that are just so innocent and pure and don't understand what's going on around them. There's so many different family dynamics going on here. The family's connection, the family's being able to come together through thick and thin is just very relatable. It reminds me of my parents, talking about what their maybe family was like during, kind of in the same time period, the 1970s, growing up 1970s, early 1980s, and just how things were different back then. And, it really does, I just think, have a really easy connection to get involved with early on. The idea of you having a political dictatorship on top of that is something that I think is very relatable for a lot of people in the world. And it's a type of story that you see throughout, whether it be, looking back in history, whether it be more modern type history, or whether it be in fantasy sci-fi elements. A regime having power over its citizens, and how those citizens handle it is a very powerful and very easy, relatable thing I think anybody in the world can have. But this movie also delivers just amazing acting performances from top to bottom. None more so than Fernanda Torres as Eunice. Eunice has to go through so many different difficult things, whether it's the performance of the 14 days where she's captured by the Brazilian military police, trying to figure out more information, or having to hide the fact that she knows her husband has been killed, but because she doesn't want to give out any information that she knows that, she has to act as if he still may be coming home to every single family member that she has, because anything would tip off the military police that she actually has inside information and that they may come back and take more members of her family, including herself, later on. Her drive to eventually become a lawyer that prosecutes and tries to combat the dark side of history that you see in the later parts of the film is a great performance from Fernanda Torres. And even her mother, at the very end of the movie, taking over Eunice's role as an older woman dealing with Alzheimer's, was so powerful and heartbreaking, and just such the essence of what a good supporting performance can be, lifting up that character. And because they used her mother, I couldn't tell if it was Fernanda Torres on makeup or if it was her actual mother. Until after the movie, I looked at the credits and I saw it was her actual mother playing that role. The character of Eunice is just so strong on so many different levels, and her connection with all of her kids, as well as her husband, played by Celton Mayo. Ruben, you see also somebody who's a former congressman that wants to do good in his community, but is also trying not to go too hard against the dictatorship. And unfortunately, though, all this good that he is trying to do and the worry that he may be trying to create an uprising causes his death to happen when arrested by military police. And just the whole scene where he is getting arrested or being taken in for a quote-unquote interview the way he was able to act as Ruben was just, again, amazing acting throughout. And just his connection to his kids and his connections to his wife and the community was, again, a character you can get in love with and be involved with. And I think this was an amazing job. I'm Still Here overall is just a movie that tells a powerful story that sees it through from beginning to end, that shows how a family can grow and, get closer, but also the struggles of dealing with different age groups of kids in a family during tragic times and during, harsh times. Seeing that family grow into something much bigger and beautifuler down the line. I Am Still Here, I just think, is the type of movie that connects to any individual person at any level. Its quality is measurable from its score, from its cinematography, from all the different camera angles that it works with. The fact that it's in Portuguese and you will have subtitles does not bother me at all, and I think the performances are incredibly sound and important to watch in the Portuguese language and using the subtitles. This is the movie that anybody can connect with throughout the world and have an amazing time with. And Fernanda Torres delivers an amazing rock star powerhouse performance that could and should be very likely a Oscar-winning performance in Best Actress if she wasn't dealing with two other actresses that also gave great performances this year. I'm Still Here just checks all the boxes for me, and I think it got a little bit neglected at first because it is a film from Brazil, but once Fernanda Torres got into the Best Actress race, once the nomination period got delayed a bit, everybody started watching this movie, and just like me, anybody who watches this movie falls in love with this movie, and that is why I'm Still Here should win Best Picture at the Oscars this March.